The Stag Beetle monster appeared in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode, The Beetle Invasion, an obvious nod to the ever-famed band of a similar name, making their presence known to the States back in the 60s. The episode itself probably isn't as popular as those musical legends, but it's pretty close. Ernie's been challenged by a rival youth center from another town to a competitive game of broom ball. As you can imagine, he enlists our heroes to play on the team, so on and so forth. This plot isn't important in the slightest. The only thing that's relevant is the other team's mascot, a Stag Beetle, is animated by Lord Zed to fight the Rangers. It's at this point I'd like to mention that yes, we're now in Season 2, and this monster is the only figure in this first wave of action feature evil space aliens to appear in Season 2. This makes the Stag Beetle the only monster from Wave 1 to be under Lord Zed's command. Probably didn't need to point this out, but I live for crap like this, so there it is. This figure's kind of a sleeper for me. I had no interest in picking this up as a kid just because there were so many other monsters to choose from. He's a beetle, and that's pretty much it. He wasn't crossed with anything to make him stand out, and his dark and boring colors push him to the background. I have to imagine if a neighborhood kid who didn't watch Power Rangers came over to your house back in the day and picked this guy up out of your toy box, he'd probably say something ignorant like, "Is this thing from Beetleborgs or something like that?" Ugh. The Stag Beetle's action feature can be activated by pressing the toggle on his back. Watch as his pincers open and close in a slicing action. You know, because he's called Slicing Horn Stag Beetle. He also comes packaged with a weapon that wasn't seen in the show. It's a pretty decent staff with pincers on both ends, and the nice part is that these can be separated and wielded in both of his hands. It can sometimes be hard to find a complete staff, but this guy has to be one of, if not the most common figures to find as of this video, so it's hardly something that needs to be considered. Now, I mentioned earlier that this monster was kind of a sleeper pick for me. What I meant by that was I looked past him as a kid, but as an adult, he sort of has my attention, especially considering his show appearance. His entire plan is to steal the remaining Green Ranger energy from Tommy. He's not only successful in obtaining it, but he ends up using some of it against the other Rangers. Spoilers. Tommy does end up getting back what's left of his powers before the Beetle's defeated. The takeaway here is that not only did the Beetle use some of these powers, but the Rangers are now wondering how much is left. That's a pretty big impact to an ongoing plot point that a Monster of the Week was responsible for. So, to be clear, I like this guy, but if I was a Power Rangers fan who only picked up a few villains for the collection, I really don't think he's making the cut. Or slice. Curious what your thoughts are on this monster. Did you have this guy back in the day? Did you like the episodes he was in? Please share and tune back in future Mondays for more Monster of the Week videos. Also, please be sure to try out our podcast. Just search Toy Talk Guys in your podcast app of choice, or click on one of our links in the video description below. Thanks for watching.